Hi everybody, Crystal here from Steampunk Farms Rescue Barn. We are an animal sanctuary up in the high desert mountains of San Diego County. We specialize in rehabilitation of abused and abandoned animals and also in education and public outreach to spread a message of compassion and kindness. I'm here today with Dahlia. She is one of our special needs little goats. We had some x-rays taken and we were able to rule out any fractures or dislocations, which left us with a diagnosis of nervous damage, which could really go one of two ways. If it were central nervous system, it would be a much worse prognosis than simply a bone fracture, because it's much more difficult to treat them than it would be simply to cast her up and let something like bones heal. Then she showed us a very, very good sign, and she lifted up her tail to poop for us. And that let us know that she has both control of her tail and her bowels, which rules out central nervous system damage and leaves us with a diagnosis of just peripheral nerve damage, which is still not an easy thing to cope with. She's been like this for almost 3 months now. We're working with water therapy in a bathtub. She has her wheels that she's gotten very proficient. She can zip across the acreage in no time flat. Slowly but surely, she is showing us that she is able to regenerate. She now has sensation in her legs. She's able to respond to stimuli, and she moves them. She's even able to kick them and paddle them a little bit as if she were swimming. She's doing it a little bit for you right now. We are able to either string her legs up to protect them from dragging, and what we're doing more often now is actually leaving them down, and she's showing us that she is able to get them under her in a normal standing position. So we're really hopeful that with time she'll start bearing weight, and she may even be able to join the herd behind me here. We're not quite there yet, but in the meantime, Dahlia is just a doll. She's absolutely precious. She warms hearts of everyone she meets. She's an excellent ambassador and spokesperson for kindness and compassion towards animals. Hi, Pogo. Welcome. Let's get inside and we'll make Dahlia's Dreamsicle soap. I'm here to make a batch of Dahlia's Dreamsicle cold process soap. The first batch of Dahlia's was made off camera before I got brave enough to start this type of videography and give this a go for the new year. And it was not only one of my favorites, simply because orange and vanilla is a fantastic combination, but it also came out beautifully, and the test audience, the few people who have been out here to see them as they've been curing, have just loved them. They smell great, they look pretty, and of course, Dahlia is a hard little girl to not fall madly in love with. She's actually scooting around on the floor behind me. You can probably hear her, and I'm sure she'll let out a ma or two and during the course of this video. So give a thumbs up when you hear baby Dahlia in the background there. Without further ado, let's get to making this soap. What I have here are the hard oils. This is the shea butter and the coconut oil. They have been microwaved already, and so they're going to be the first oils that go into the main recipe. And then I'll speed you guys up here a little bit while I measure out the rest of the oils. Okay, so we've got the blend of oils just under 90 degrees, which is warm enough to keep everything liquid, but cool enough to make some intricate swirls possible. We've got some pumpkin head mica from Mad Micas, just a tad bit of oil. This is Tequila Sunrise mica, also from Mad Micas. It's the perfect orange dreamsicle color. This is really ideal. Couldn't get any better than that. The pumpkin head is just to add a little bit of variety, some fun swirls, but this Tequila Sunrise is just an orange popsicle ready to go. In this cup here, I've got the lye, which is the sodium hydroxide, the very caustic agent that is going to become neutral and skin safe once saponification with the oils is finished. There's also water in here, some distilled water, so that we don't have any minerals interacting with the chemistry. And there's just a splash of titanium dioxide in this, and that's because this fragrance oil does have a little bit of vanilla, which tend to turn brown. There's not really enough vanilla in this particular scent to create a dark brown, but because I want the white to stay white and the oranges to stay vibrant, I added titanium dioxide into the lye water. That'll help resist any discoloration or browning that might occur. Let's get these colors separated off. And now to turn the rest of the soap left in the big bucket white. And titanium dioxide is unlike micas. You can't just stir that in like the oranges, both incorporated very easily. Titanium dioxide is never going to do that, even when blended with water or oils first. So it requires a little bit of stick blending to get the true white to come out. Ready for the fragrance oil. This is Whimsical from Wholesale Supplies Plus. It's a very sweet orange with a very rich, creamy vanilla. Not a bakery vanilla, not like cinnamon or hazelnut vanilla that you would get from a bakery fragrance. This is just a very sugared vanilla is probably the best way to describe it. Okay, these are starting to thicken up a little bit. It's a good time to get the fragrance oil mixed in and get the pour done. It's nice that they are thickened somewhat because I'm going to do an in the pot swirl, which involves pouring them all together. And I don't want it to become one big bucket of medium orange. I definitely want it to stay 3 distinct colors. But I also want it thick enough, or thin enough, sorry, that it will swirl into the mold. So I'm not looking for lumps of color. We're looking for a real whimsical sort of swirl. Sweet and whimsical describes Dahlia pretty spot on. So I think it's a perfect design to go for in her soap as well. Okay, we are back and we are ready. We've got the white bucket that's going to be the base of the in the pot swirl, and then we've got the 2 orange colors which are thickening up as we speak. So let's get this going. Okay, let's get it tamped down to release any air bubbles, get them all to come to the top. We're back here to create a little bit of a design on top. And this is where I left the first batch because I didn't have biodegradable eco glitter. This is no plastic glitter. So I think I'm going to give it just a little spritz. All right, I'm going to cover this up and then tomorrow we'll be able to take it out of the mold, cut it into bars and look at the inside. Hi guys, welcome back. We're here a little more than 24 hours later to unmold and cut up this batch of Dahlia's Dreamsicle. Typically aim for somewhere between 18 and 24 hours, but today got a little busy with all of the storm prep we're doing to keep the animals safe and dry and warm through all of the rain and snow that is on the way. So I'm not getting here to work on the soap until after dark, but that shouldn't be a problem. We should be just fine. So let's get this unmolded and see what we've got.
Okay, here we are. You may notice that with the last bar, I chunked it into smaller pieces. Getting the very last piece to cut in half is notoriously the most difficult part of slicing into bars with an individual bar cutter like this. And what often happens, or sometimes at least, is I end up with very asymmetrical bars. So in this case, one came out extra thick. It actually tapers upward at the top, which means somebody will be lucky enough to get an oversized bar from this batch. But I don't like to sell the undersized bars. A little bit extra, a little bonus is okay, but I'm not here to cheat anybody on their bar of soap. So what I like to do instead is I cut those into 3 smaller pieces that we call So Oops bars. And these So Oops bars come to about an ounce each, and they sell for just $2 and they ship free with any other order. They're not always available. If I'm able to get a perfect cut, then we end up with 10 full bars and no So Oops. But in this particular case, we're gonna have 9 full bars available and 3 of these little mini bars that make great samples or guest bathroom soaps. They're perfect size for that. So those will be available for sale January 1st, 2020. If you can believe it, we're already at 2020. That's all for today. I'll leave you with the mouth-watering image of this delicious dessert and have a great night.
Okay guys, this is the real deal. Vibrant oranges, bright white, beautiful swirls. That yellow bulb we were looking through last night has got to go.